We're planning to start trading on Tuesday, March 31st under the symbol AZEM. We are in mining-friendly Arizona, Yavapai County. We've acquired a past-producing mine on private ground. We have power, we have water, we have access to talent. It's a known mining area. It's a high-grade historic estimate. It's a high-grade past-producing mine, and it's open in all directions. So for us, it's really executing on the drill program, expanding the estimate, and down the road, generating a 43-101 report that will reflect our resource work.
For disclosure purposes, our site does not make recommendations for purchases or sale of stocks, services, or products. Nothing on our site or this podcast should be construed as an offer or solicitation to buy or sell products or securities. All investing involves risk and possible losses. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. For disclosure purposes, Arizona Eagle Mining is a paid-for client on the Investor Ideas website. Welcome to another edition of the Exploring Mining podcast. Today we have Kevin Reid, President and CEO of Arizona Eagle Mining. Arizona Eagle Mining starts trading tomorrow, March 31st, under the symbol AZEM on the TSX Venture. Kevin, it's great to have you on the show. We're one day away from Arizona Eagle trading. Can you just start off with a little bit of a recap of Arizona Eagle and the highlights of the project?
Tomorrow's a big day for us. We start trading under the symbol AZEM on the TSXV. It's been long awaited. It's been about 12 months in the works since we did our acquisition of the McCabe Mine in Arizona, the high-grade gold McCabe Mine. So just a quick recap for your listeners and your followers. What we've acquired is a past producing high-grade gold, primarily gold, but gold and silver mine in Yavapai County, Arizona. It's off a paved highway. It's near Dewey Humboldt. It was in production in the 30s and most recently in the 1980s and early 1990s when the company who had it last, a company by the name of Magma Copper, was acquired by BHP in 1996. This asset ended up in private hands for 30 years. And a year ago, we were able to come to a deal to buy the mine. And what we've done actually, Cali, is we've gone from the 87 acres, which is the McCabe Mine footprint, and we've acquired totaling over 300 acres of private ground. And we've staked BLM ground around us in excess of 4,000 acres. So we've got this consolidated land package. We've got this really high grade mine on our property, the McCabe Mine, which has a historic estimate of 820,000 ounces at an 11.7 gram per ton gold grade, which is extremely high grade, as you and your listeners will know. But that grade, what's important to point out is two things. It was at a 6.8 gram per ton cutoff. It was done in the 80s when gold was in the $300 per ounce range. And it was after mining dilution and processing dilution or processing recoveries. So the implied head grade is actually based on the estimate, which is not 43-1 compliant, but they were mining it. And the results they had implied a head grade of 15 grams per ton gold. So we've got this incredibly high grade historic estimate. It was in production. There's 14 shafts across our property, small shafts, many down just a few hundred feet that riddle our property. So this 1 kilometer approximately of strike length has almost 1 million ounces of historic estimate, but we've consolidated many kilometers of this structure. So we're excited. We've just started drilling. We're on our fifth hole. So we're really excited to see what the results look like. But importantly, we have consolidated a district and we've consolidated these trends that have incredible potential to expand the already existing high grade, past producing McCabe Mine.
The upside potential is fantastic as you've been private for the last year, and we've had quite a run on gold prices. It's been a little volatile lately with a correction, but I think the timing is perfect, especially for an exploration story in gold for investors looking for a new story out there.
I couldn't agree more, Callie. The thing about us being private, actually, in the last 12 months, it's two things. Great for us to do a deal because we did a deal when gold prices were $2,000 lower. And we've been able to consolidate so much ground. That's been fantastic. But for our shareholders, they haven't had the benefit of the moves that many of these companies have had. Many of these stocks that I'm not going to go through here, but people close to the gold space will know that many stocks have tripled, quintupled, in some cases better over the last 12 months. And based on our last financing of $1.20 Canadian and our 49 million shares outstanding post our RTO, our implied market cap is just 60 million Canadian. And again, having 820,000 ounces, although not 43,101, this project was mined as recently as 1993 when it was closed down. We believe that based on the resource we have and historic resource and based on the comps, we believe that there's significant upside in our shares. And I also want to point out that the management team, the insiders, including myself, have invested approximately $6 million through a series of private placements to get our positions. So we are, and we haven't taken any salaries. So personally, I've invested over $2 million in the shares, most recently buying at the $1.20 round that was done in November. And management and insiders own 54% of the company. And we have a really good capital structure. We have it's a lot of friends and family that have participated in the rounds and some high net worth individuals that I had the opportunity to work with in my finance career and investment banking. So really good shareholders, really good capital structure, and we're fully funded to complete our 5,000-meter drilling program, which is currently underway.
Kevin, do you have any closing remarks for investors for the company as we start trading tomorrow?
Yeah, Callie, fantastic. Really, the points I want to drive home for potential investors in the gold space here is we have a high grade past producing mine with a historic estimate with a recovered grade of 11.7 grams per ton. And that resource was done at a 6.8 gram per ton cutoff back in the 80s when gold prices were in the $300 range. So most mines are operating sub 7 grams per ton. In our case, our historic estimate, if it wasn't 7 gram, it didn't even make it into the resource. So we feel there's upside there and bring in more tons potentially by lowering the cutoff. We're drilling. We're drilling now. And the opportunity here is we've got many, many kilometers of this structure. There's small past producing mines in 14 different locations, 14 across over 7 kilometers of strike length. So it's just getting started for investors that are interested in the gold space, like high grade mines that have a history of production, that are in a mining friendly area with power, water, and access to skilled labor force. Arizona Eagle Mining is definitely one to look at. And our symbol starting trading tomorrow, Cali, is AZEM. One more time for your viewers.